Hey,
How's,
on.
how's it going?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm very well. It's uh yeah.
It's one
Things
of
are
those
going
days.
okay. I don't know. It's usual, like trying to I'm just juggling way too many things. I really need to slim down my projects.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's starting to catch up with me.
Uh-oh.
It's good though. It keeps it interesting. There's always a lot going on. That's something, right?
Yep, yep. Hey, before we keep going, I've been wanting to comment on that space shuttle back there. It's pretty cool.
Lego Space
Is that,
Shuttle. Yeah, yes,
yeah, is
yeah.
that yours or your son's?
And it's mine. It was a birthday present at the end of last year
Cool.
from my wife and my son. So it's yeah, Lego
Cool.
spatial. It's cool. They Lego have a bunch of like space or NASA stuff. I've
Yeah.
got the Apollo 11
Ooh,
lander
nice.
one somewhere as
Nice.
well. It's in the other room, and
The lunar
mm,
module, the
yes,
lander.
yeah.
Nice.
So I think I mean Lego is kind of it's forever fun, right? I don't think
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
you can never really get bored of it, and so it's. I think they're just really satisfying to build. I think the interesting thing
Yep.
about like this one as well, and the lander as well, is the details they have inside them that externally you don't see it. It doesn't matter to anybody looking at it, but because you put them in there. Like for
Hmm.
instance, the whole landing gear on this thing. If you push the back part
Hmm.
of it, the landing gear will pop out, and so there's all this internal mechanism
Cool.
to make it all eject and kind of like sits inside, and even like the chairs inside are the right colors that match the original space shuttle and things like this. So there's all this detail inside that like you could look at it and no one would ever know, but because you built it, you know that there's all this detail inside of it, and it's
That's
so it's
there.
very
Yeah.
satisfying. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I was watching a Netflix documentary the other day. Forget what it's called, but it's all about Legos and the Lego culture and how there's a ton of adults that play with Legos, and put stuff together. And there's like a conference
Seriously, it's
or
big, it's
something like that.
huge.
And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and people go all out building these
Mm-hmm.
amazing stuff like scenes and all kinds of
Seriously, it's
crazy,
incredible.
crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm when my son was younger, it's funny because when he started getting to that age, and it was like, okay, we kind of graduated from the Duplo blocks, the bigger ones, and so
Yeah.
it's like, hold on, I've got like some old Lego in the attic somewhere, so I dug out this box of like 30-year-old Lego, and
Oh,
so yeah, give it a bit of a wash, and it's still the same. It's exactly the same, and it works fine. And just sitting with him, especially when he's very small, it's amazing how that like creative spark comes back to you, and it's like I don't know. I don't think you ever lose it. It's
yeah.
just such a satisfying thing to do,
Yeah.
and especially when you've got a small child there, and you're kind of like, hey, look, this looks like a tree, and
Yeah.
it's very fun. I'm a huge Lego fan.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to love playing with Legos and building stuff when I was a kid and haven't done that ever since, I was a kid. So,
It's a great
I
excuse when you
should,
get kids. You're like, oh yeah, now I can play with Lego again.
yeah. Yeah. Hey, heck, I won't even wait until then. I'll
No,
probably go to the store and buy some Legos.
seriously, yeah, just treat yourself sometime. It's very satisfying.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember it used to be a lot of fun.
It is cool. So, how's have you done anything on Fusion Cast lately? Anything been happening, or you had been? I know this is the problem with juggling things, right? As I was saying, too many things going on, and it's tough sometimes. Some weeks are
Yeah.
better than others.
Yeah. Nothing on the product side of things, but on the business side of things, I got the business entity formed.
Oh,
So
that's significant. That's
yeah,
news. Yeah, yeah.
it's all done. It's completed. The whole process is completed. There's one little thing that they still need to. Actually, it was with the company that's processing the stuff for me. I was on the phone with them before this call, and that's why I was a little late to it. Um, because there was a statement or there was a thing that they needed to contact me so that they would ask me on record and I would provide the answer on record so that they could put it on the form and submit it to the state of California. So
Okay.
it was like one of those things that you know cannot be completed unless I'm there. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Congratulations. It's
yeah.
a
Thank you.
significant moment. It's yeah, just knowing that there's nothing stopping you now, right?
Yeah, yeah. And with that, I also applied for my bank account,
Oh,
and
again, that's
yeah,
significant, right?
yeah. Because now that I have that, I can
And
do
start
that.
making some money with it, right?
Yep, yep. So all moving towards that moment that I can launch. So it's getting there.
I mean, even your, trial customers, it might be time to start saying, "So you've had it free for a while. How about
Right?
chipping in?"
Yeah.
It's funny. We were mentioning like price plans and stuff the other day.
Mhm.
I'm kind of so I had a meeting at my co-working space the other day with one of the people there. She's helping me with the Japanese landing page and stuff, and they're also gonna help introduce me to some local businesses that I can kind of pitch directly to as well.
Mhm.
And they say they've been really helpful with the one of the current customers I have that they introduced them, and they've been really good to helping get things moving.
Mhm.
And so it, I think I mentioned I have like the three current plans. There's one, the
Mhm.
unrealistic, like unlimited, which I don't expect anybody to ever use. And I'm thinking of almost like nixing that, just getting rid of that for the moment, just because it's overhead, and I don't expect anybody to get that. If you want more, just contact me and leave that as that, rather than have
Mhm.
a prefixed option.
I see. Yeah.
But on the other side, I'm gonna introduce a mini version. So I think we've talked before. Rather than doing per seat pricing, I've just got like 10 seats or 20 seats, and if you need more than 20, then contact me, and 10 is like the minimum.
Mhm.
But because I think I mentioned before, it works quite well if there's only if you're using it just for yourself, right? I use it pretty much only me, but it's still a very useful thing to use.
Yeah.
I find the routine, the habit of it, very helpful to me.
Yeah.
Just knowing what I'm going to work on next, and just that achievement of like, yeah, I've got these three things done, and just having a log of the stuff that I've done as well is kind of nice to have.
Right.
So I'm going to introduce a mini version, which I don't know is maybe 2 or 3 people, and just charge as little as I can. I'm thinking like $6, $7, something like that.
Mhm.
Whatever that fits into the so it doesn't feel that the 10 people is too expensive or something like that. I need to figure out. I guess that would be about $15, wouldn't it? But whatever
Mhm.
I think I can kind of that works, I need to have a think about it more. But I definitely want to introduce a much lower tier that is like this is fine for yourself, and also that change. Make sure that it's clear that it is useful for yourself. It doesn't
Mhm.
have to be, oh, well, if I'm only doing this with one or two other people, then we don't need it. Well, no, it may be still useful, right? So hopefully I can get that across in some of the copy as well. So that's the pricing, play with the pricing model a little bit and just see, yeah, just because I think it feels a little bit high for a single person right now, or 2 people.
Mhm.
And so I just want to introduce something that's you know that doesn't feel like a like, well, that's I don't want to pay that much.
Mhm. So if you go that route, how many plans are you going to end up with if
I'm
you
going to
eliminate
stick
the?
right. I'm just going to stick with the three still. I think
Okay.
having more than three is just going to get confusing. And I mean, I guess I could still think about moving to a per user model, but I just don't want that overhead right now. I'd rather just keep it simple.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe per person is simple. I don't know. Maybe that is the most simple version. But yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of the big one and just say collars, and then for introduce this like mini version to go with it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's my current fiddling. What, because I'm in the middle of I've made a bunch of changes to the landing page already. So while I've been doing that, it's kind of been on my mind that it's like, yeah, I need something that is more entry. And in my experience as well, from my experience of companies adopting products, it's generally for the most part come from the team themselves, especially this kind of product where it's kind of aimed at smaller teams, potentially startups. You know,
Mhm.
not somewhere that it's like, well, that we have a big deal with, a an existing seller, and we have these things, and we will be using Microsoft Teams for this, and this has to, it's not something that is going to necessarily be adopted by that type of company anyway. So I'd rather it came from the ground up. It's like, I've been using this, I find it useful, we could use it as a team. That's probably, it's a realistic entry into a company for .plan, rather than trying to aim at the top and go down. So I think having something that feels like not outrageous for a single person or a couple of people to use is useful, I think.
Yeah.
That's my theory anyway.
Yeah.
I also, I said I had a meeting with FGN about that. Also, I think I mentioned last time, they asked me to do a 5 to 10 minute video pitch. So I did that the other day, and I think it went okay. They've put it up on YouTube. It seems okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, send me the link.
I will send you the link.
Yeah,
and
check it out.
I'm getting, I guess, I feel that my kind of pitch is becoming better. Not necessarily my presentation. That varies depending on the time of day and how much coffee I've had. But in terms of the structure and the clarity of what I'm saying, I feel it's getting to the point now where I don't have to think about it. It's like, I know the points I want to make, I just need to put them in the right order now. So that I guess that just comes through, having done it a few times now, to people, or even recording it. We recorded it a couple of times just to see if could get a better take. And even just doing that, it's like, I know this now, I don't have to think about the pitch. It's just kind of rattling it off a little bit now, which it's good, because then I can focus on my presentation of it a little bit more than what I'm saying, right? Whereas currently it's like, I need to make sure I remember to say this, whereas now it's like, I know all the things I'm going to say, I just need to make sure I say them well now.
And are you doing that in English only?
That is in English. They asked me to do it in English just because it'd be more comfortable for me. So I'm going to give them a Japanese translation for subtitles. They haven't done one, so I'm going to try and run one through for them, save them some time. But they're going to use that to pitch to companies. They basically send a package I don't know how often, every now and again, to the companies that they partner with, to say, like, these are the companies startups that we're working with. Is there any that we can introduce you to, or kind of set something up with? So this is part of their partnership and introduction kind of thing that they have going. So you never know, something might come from it.
yeah, for sure.
So it's nice that they're helping me with the structure and the content of the landing page as well, because I think I mentioned before, what is expected from a Japanese SaaS landing page is quite different from what you would expect from a.
I remember you telling me that they expect to see all the information on the homepage, and not multiple pages and things broken down by sections.
No, detail and information. I mean, this just generally goes through. I'm going to be, very hand wavy here, and obviously this doesn't apply to everybody and everything, but in general, the trend is interfaces here tend to be very information dense, and if something isn't on the screen, then it's like, well, doesn't it do this? No, it is. You just got to click on this first. And that applies to the same with landing pages and any kind of product documentation, and that also goes through to product guides or help systems. Remember I had the video pop-up thing originally. I've replaced that now with a page of, I think there's about 20 how-tos. For instance, how to change your password, how to start a timer, how to check your, check-ins and whatever. Basically a thing for each one. I mentioned I was using Tango to make them, which meant, me and my wife rattled them off in a few hours. We just got the English and Japanese versions done. And that's something that FGen also kind of were like, you really need that, because it's the first thing. If there's no manual guide for the product, then it'd be like, well, we can't use that, because how do we know how to use it? This kind of click around and find out does not sit well with people. They want information there. and say that follows through to the landing pages as well. The more information that you put on, if you don't mention it on the landing page, they'll assume that it doesn't do it or doesn't exist. So have to be quite information dense. And yeah, I think you kind of, I guess I'm used to seeing that on Japanese pages now, so I can kind of understand what they're looking for a little bit better now. Whereas before, I'm like, what's this? It's too much. Now I'm like, I kind of have an idea of what they're expecting. So yeah, I'm going to do basically not entirely different, but the Japanese version will have more than the English version for sure.
Yeah. Would you be able to at least put all the information on the homepage in like a smaller chunk of that information, and then learn more, and then click and
potentially
go to another page?
I mean, I'm not. I don't feel I absolutely have to, do exactly the same as everybody else. So it will definitely be my version of it, which will not put every single piece of information on the page. So I'm taking that as a guide, but rather than absolutely have to. It's just okay. We have to make sure that we include information that it does these things and how it does it, but it I don't feel like I have to put it all on the same page. I will probably link to it just for my own peace of mind.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do too. That would be way too much to put all on the homepage.
Yeah, exactly. So yep. So speaking of homepages, this is a curiosity.
Sure.
So this is back before I started doing .plan. So when I left my previous job, and I'm like, okay, it's time to do something on my own. I started doing some freelance work to pay the rent, but it's like, okay, one of the reasons for leaving the previous thing was, okay, it's time to do something on my own. I need to get back into this.
Yeah.
So one of the products that I was going to make, I think this was my original plan. This was the original product I was going to make. Mm-hmm. I stuck up a landing page thing with just I think it's like a 2-sentence description, 1 or 2 sentence description of what it's going to be. So stuck an email box in there, and then published it. And it's like, okay, I think I posted, I'm thinking of doing this, or this is what I'm going to do on Twitter, and that was it. I kind of then the idea evolved into .plan. It's the core concept is similar, but rewind a little bit. The idea is basically .plan, but for self-study. So say, for instance, I'm learning Japanese, I'm learning to play the guitar, I'm, studying, I'm interested in something. So the idea being that it's to kind of record your journey, your progress in
your
learning
progress.
Something. Yeah. I mean, I spent half an hour studying some kanji today. Okay. Yesterday I did, 15 minutes of grammar review. So it's something just to say, I did this. The idea being that you can share that with other people that are doing something similar. So have a Japanese language community. Of course, everybody's learning differently. It's not necessarily an education system, but it's a way of just having a community around a topic that you're interested in. And then just see where it goes. Yeah. So that was my original core idea, and I didn't really have the product really clearly defined in my mind, but that was what the avenue I wanted to follow. And then I talked to a few people who's, especially they've been involved in like investment and things like that in the city and in the UK. And the main thing I got back was, there's no money in that. It's like, that's nice, but you're not going to make any money, at least not initially. And, it's one of those that you'd have to get massive scale in order for it to be worth anything. And I'm like,
it sounds like a B2C type of business.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
And so I mean, it's my head is still very much in that area. Like I like B2C products, of course, but at the same time, that kind of push that, like, you'd have to get into big numbers and sponsorship or partnership deals, and it's not going to be a just side project that could bring in some income. So you might want to rethink. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I mean, this is one of the things that the .plan came out of, right? Because I'd had this similar routine in my previous jobs, and I've worked with people that have done in the same as kind of .plan is doing, having this publishing what I'm doing on a weekly basis or so. And so it's like, okay, well, let's take this idea and roll it into a team, and I know it works in the work thing. And I think that's where the original idea for this product came from, was I know it works in work. It would be nice to do it for other things too. So I kind of rewound back into it being a work-based product. And so that's kind of evolved into .plan over a space of a few months. And I forgot about the landing page, as you do, right? Because it's just there.
Yeah.
And the domain came up for renewal a few months ago, and I'm like,
Okay.
oh yeah, I forgot about that. And I'll I guess it's $20, whatever. I'll renew it. You never know. I might think about it again sometime. And I still like the idea, and I still want to do it, but just not right now. So I just renewed it. So the landing page is, so this is a really twisty story. This is a long way of getting to what I'm going to say. So the landing page is hosted on umso.com, which I use for the .plan and other landing pages. And so the price the plan that I'm on is like, I don't know, $30 a month or $20 a month for like three sites. Just a site builder, but it works. It's got stuff built in for like email lists and analytics and stuff. So it's just a nice drag and drop landing page builder. I really like it. I recommend it. umso.com. And so I went to do, because I was working on the .plan landing page like the past week or so, and I was like, I'm at the 3 site limit. I guess I can just delete Study Space, which is the one
the one that you had forgotten about.
Yeah, because someone clicked on it. I'm like, oh, I guess that's got an email list attached to it. So I clicked on the email list, and there's like 150 signups or something, including and the graph is like that. It's flat since I announced it, but in the past like 3 months, it's going like it's got that curve going up. And like in the past 3 days or so, 3 or 4 days, it's been like 6 or 7 per day leaving their email address. I'm like, okay, what the hell does that come from? And of course, that's got the cogs going in my head, like, maybe that's an idea. So I didn't delete the site, funnily enough. And now, I'm kind of, more than anything, I'm just now curious as to like, how are people now finding this? Because it's been flat for 18 months, a year, it's just been completely flat. And in the past, like two months, it's suddenly started to get more and more signups every day. And I'm like, what the hell's going on there? So I need to look at that sometime.
Yeah, and are these confirmed signups? Is there a confirmation step?
Actually, there's not, but they all look respectable signups, as in they're all like they don't look like spammy ones. That's for sure. Yeah. So I mean, it's possible they are all spam ones, and fine. It's a red herring. But at the same time, they look legit, and now I'm like, okay, maybe I should at least do something more with the email, as in maybe I should send out something like a responder email just to confirm something. I'm kind of curious about that now.
Yeah, something like what prompted you to sign up?
Right.
What's going on in your life that
exactly that's exactly what I was thinking. Try and get some information about who's signing up and why are they signing up and what are they looking for, because it is kind of vague about what it says on the site, right? But it also gets across what I think the application is trying to do. It says like a learning community, share your progress or something like that. So I'm kind of like, well, but of course, good. I do not need another project. Is what you're supposed to tell me, Mario. That's what you're supposed to say. That was your prompt right there. You say, don't even think about it, Alan.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, for sure. Well, you already have another one going on at the same time with with the business cards.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't think you need another one. So for sure, that's what I'm gonna tell you.
See, wise words there, very sensible.
I mean, if you explore that idea, like you said, send an email and ask, and just kind of
that sounds reasonable, right?
That I would say that's reasonable. You can do that because it's not going to take you a long time. But if you're going to start building a product, that's not going to work very well.
It's not going to work very well, correct?
It's gonna take you away from your main focus, which should be .plan.
Right. I mean, the interesting thing about .plan is, I've kind of got to be careful that it's actually getting to the point now where it's there's no reason apart from finding customers for it. There's nothing that it doesn't do that I feel it absolutely has to do, or there's no real blocker apart from just getting more customers for it. Again, there's a million things I want it to do, but they don't have to be there right now. It's a complete product as it stands. So yeah, but of course that also means I've got to be careful, because that's the bit where my brain goes, yeah, it's done now. Well, what's interesting, it's not a technical challenge anymore. It's a marketing and sales challenge, and I know that's not the bit which gets my brain all excited. So I'm kind of trying to force myself into that. You know how it is. You know it well, right?
Yep. I know the feeling. My dog is barking again.
What's his name?
In the background?
Barkley?
Barley.
Barkley. Barkley's,
Nah.
I think, had some cartoon, right? I don't know.
Barley. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Every time he sees people walking by outside.
I hope you don't live on a busy street then.
No, it's not. It's not a busy street at all. But there is a school nearby, and right now it's past that time. It must be just some people walking by, but. Normally around middle of the afternoon when school lets out and all the kids are walking by, he starts
very exciting time.
And there are some steps by the window, and he has a spot there where he can just perch himself and just to look out the window and starts barking at everyone that walks by.
Shout at all the kids.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, well. It's hard to get rid of that habit. We've tried all kinds of things, but it's just.
He's excited. He's happy to see other people.
Yeah. So
is a retriever? Is he?
He's a golden retriever. Yeah.
They're excitable.
Oh yeah. And the funny thing is that he's the most loving dog ever. He loves kids and people in general. Like he's a people dog, right? He doesn't care much for other dogs, but he loves people. And the people that he's barking at from the window, if we were to open the door and just let him approach them, he just melts because he wants pets. He wants to, he wants attention.
Right. But if they're over there, I'm going to shout at them, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so, people might think he's like an aggressive dog or something because he's barking, but he's the most loving dog ever, and all he wants is attention.
Right.
So go figure. Yeah.
He just wants tummy rubs, that's all.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, one thing that I did spend quite a bit of time this past week is doing podcast editing.
I noticed there's lots of files there for me to get stuck into, right?
Yeah. So we're pretty much caught up finally with all the backlog of episodes. There's only one more.
Really?
Oh, yeah. The last one, the one we recorded 2 weeks ago.
With that caught up. Okay. Well, so I think we kind of mentioned this on Mega Maker or something. It kind of could be fun to maybe not dump them all at once, but at least do a reasonably fast schedule of getting all these out. So we are actually up to date, as in we're publishing after we record them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of having this backlog.
Yeah. My plan is going forward is just to do editing right away after we record. And just have it ready for you within 24, 48 hours max so that you can publish as soon as you can. So
we should do that. So basically what you're saying is, Alan, you've got some work to do and get all these show notes written up and published.
I mean, with these that we have the backlog, it's going to be a little bit of work because getting all those out. But
it'd be nice to let's I'll aim to at least get a couple queued up so we can just push them out even if it's once a week for the next few weeks, it'd be nice to start getting them out. And maybe it's not a bad idea. Maybe just publish once a week for the next. I think that'd be the next 3 or 4 weeks. So, What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good. But then the question becomes, what do we do with the current ones? If we publish those once a week, kind of thing, then these that we're recording like
it's
this
every
one
2
right
weeks,
now,
right?
Yeah. So
I think we it could drop back down to 2 weeks, unless there's some we figure out some way to keep that weekly thing going, either split it or do mini ones or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think just getting up to speed would be, because if we publish these ones out at one every 2 weeks, it's going to take us forever to get up to speed, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And plus, it might
So
help.
maybe-
Just the having that frequency could be interesting to see what effect it has on subscribers too. Just and then see if dropping down to one every 2 weeks has any negative effect, or let's just play it by ear, I'd say.
Yeah. So then we would hold off on publishing the ones that we are recording now, like this one and the one. So this one, even if I edit it now, we wouldn't publish it until we're caught up with the previous
I see what you're saying. Are you saying we could effectively? Well, I guess that's the other alternative, isn't it? Is that rather? I was thinking we just kind of try and catch up over the next two. Probably could take a couple of months though, wouldn't it, to get back up to speed? So do we just do like say a bulk dump every day with a new episode?
Yeah, that's what I was
mean, that'd still
thinking.
take us 2 weeks to get up to 2 or 3 weeks to get up to speed, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but at least that would get us caught up a lot quicker.
Yeah.
If we do like
I have
one
no
per
problem
day.
with doing that. And then if
I'm thinking that would probably be better. I mean, it's
kind of fun,
it's more work, but it would be fun, and it would get us caught up more, quickly.
It really would be nice to be publishing these after we've recorded them, right?
Yeah, that's my goal. I don't want to get behind like that anymore. This is, it's because it's a lot of work too to have them pile up and then go back and have to dig ourselves from that hole every
right.
It's a lot easier if we just do it right away. So
exactly, it's done. And plus that means we can do more timely episodes. So if there's something that we're working on that is actually that's just the sooner we get caught up the better. So let's do that. I'll get the first one published later today and the next one maybe tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm gonna finish editing the last one, which is the last from the backlog, and then I'll edit this one.
Cool.
Today.
All right. I know what I'm doing this afternoon then.
Hopefully it doesn't take you too long.
No, it's not too bad. Although the pain yourself of listening to yourself is unpleasant. I think I'm actually getting a little bit more used to hearing my own voice. I think this does get easier over time. I thought it was literally impossible, but especially with these pitches that I've been recording. Recording a couple of takes and then watching them back and things. I can hear myself as an outsider a little bit better now, and it doesn't sound like me speaking. It's just somebody speaking who sounds a little bit like myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say also with all the editing that I've been doing, I feel the same way. I'm getting a little more used to hearing my own voice.
It's not quite as painful as it was, right?
Yeah, it still is a little bit, but not as bad. Yeah.
Cool. Let's do that then. All right. So I will. That's my job. I'm on the case.
All right. Sounds good. So should we wrap it up here?
Let's do it.
Keep it short. Yeah. And cool. That's another goal. Keeping it around 30 minutes ish would be great.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Takes less editing, takes less time, and cool. Excellent. All right, Alan. Thanks again. That was fun as always.
Fun to catch up.
Yeah. Take care, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Cheers, man.
All right. See ya.